All right, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic. Spudd is here. Lamont is here. We are doing it big. Maynard got on a Suburban Black t-shirt. Listen, go to the website. Order you a t-shirt. You need to get yourself a t-shirt. We didn't put them t-shirts up there for them to just, for pictures. We ain't got nothing else to do. Get yourself a t-shirt. Anyways, Lamont is a little hungover. He's a little tired, as you can tell.
Yeah, it was a long night. I can't front.
Long night. He stayed up watching Cardi B on SNL. Finally, after 2 years of doing this podcast, are you finally on the Cardi B train?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. First, we got to say congratulations on the pregnancy thing because, creating life is a wonderful thing. But number two, and I've been saying this lately, this new Cardi B got her clothes on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I always said,
well, if you're pregnant, then you probably should have your clothes.
No. But even before the pregnancy, even when she was in Vogue, even when she was in Elle magazine, she wasn't naked. You feel what I'm saying? And she's just, I kind of get it. Like I told somebody.
So are you saying that she classed it up a little bit more than what Beyonce's doing?
Whoa! Ain't it? We just started the podcast, bro. Can you just
asking, man? I mean, because Beyonce, still at this point, no matter how big in the game, she gonna come out in a daggone leotard almost every time.
Well, Cardi B did say that she would like to have a threesome with Rihanna and Chrissy Teigen on the album, so she probably ain't that too far out of the woods.
But hold on, though. But who wouldn't?
Are you here for that? That's something you pay for? That's something you here for?
No. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a three-way with Rihanna and Chrissy Teigen?
I would. I wouldn't. I'll pass. I'll pass.
Listen, Maynard, it's that Pornhub. That Pornhub they got to him. That Pornhub they got to him.
Oh, my dude.
I'll pass.
I'm just saying. I mean, Rihanna's fine.
Chrissy Teigen's not hot to me. She's not hot to me.
Before John Legend and Chrissy Teigen was hot.
She was warm, bro. She wasn't hot. And I still, and here's my issue with Rihanna. Rihanna's still kind of like a baby to me. You feel what I'm saying?
I forgot. I know how you like them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She's a baby, bro.
But Gayle King and Oprah, that's the go right there.
He like a little.
Listen.
Jennifer Lewis. Jennifer Lewis.
Listen. Gayle would get it, and she would have to straighten that wig up a little bit. Gayle would get it. Gayle would get it. Because if you ever watch her, Maynard, her wig is kind of always twisted a little bit. And I'd be like, yo, can somebody tell her to straighten it up?
First of all, yo, you just got everything canceled. The moves that we were making, the whole idea that we went up to CBS.
Wait. There is OWN. There is an OWN platform out there. We might can take that leap to OWN.
Well, no, one call from Gayle, and yo, our mortgages don't even get paid no more. Oprah's shutting everything down. Oprah does not play that. Don't take shots at Gayle like that. Gayle.
Wait. How's it a shot? I'm telling you, if I got to choose between Rihanna and Gayle King,
talking about her wig, my dude. Don't disrespect Gayle and her wig.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a little.
Hold on, America. Let me have this moment, America. Let me just have this moment real quick here. Listen, America. Gayle, Oprah. Lamont don't know what he's talking about. He is sorry. Forgive him, but he does not know what he's talking about.
He stayed up too late last night.
So you want me to choose a baby over a mature woman? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is don't talk about Gayle's wig. We don't play that. It's Team Gayle over here, which is sideline, the textured read Team Oprah. Yo, we don't play that.
But here's a good question. Dude. But, speaking of Oprah, Lamont, is Oprah really listening to Cardi B's album? I mean, to me, when Oprah, whoever made up the meme or whatever, that's what put it over the top. Because unfortunately, you got everybody out here believing that Oprah's out here bumping, Cardi B's brand new album. Is Oprah really listening to Cardi B?
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. Probably so. Because first of all, it was not on Oprah's page. It was on the Oprah magazine page. Now, so there's two different Instagrams, right? So I'm believing that somebody at Oprah Magazine who is concerned about clicks and views, who is concerned about being in the here and now, say, we're going to put this up and we're going to say that you listening. Oprah was like, okay, because I also think that Oprah is looking through the same lens as I am, is Cardi has classed it up a little bit. She's still kind of with the thug-ish, Bronx-ish, street-ish, but she still has classed it up. You know what I'm saying? The Spotify commercial, again, the Vogue magazine, the various interviews, things that she's not doing. You don't see Cardi B up in the strip club no more. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Cardi B in certain places. She moves different. Even her Instagram is totally different than it was maybe 12 months ago. So it's not too far-fetched that Oprah is aware of the album. You know what I'm saying? Is she rocking it, in the Sonos at the crib while she having her wheat germ pancakes? Probably not.
What kind of pancakes is Oprah eating?
Wheat germ. We don't eat wheat germ pancakes?
Jesus. Hold on. Wheat germ.
What? I'm sorry. Where do you buy those at? Where do you buy those at?
Is that strictly Whole Foods? Or?
And you have to have the blueberry compost on top. You know what I'm saying?
Blueberry compost.
Compost on top of your wheat germ pancakes. Come on, man. Man, are you not doing that?
Yo, I'm having some Lego my Eggo waffles with some
man.
syrup. And if my money ain't right, it's going to be some
I don't care what y'all
jelly.
say. I'm Aunt Jemima to the death, baby.
No.
I'm Aunt Jemima down, too. I'm Aunt Jemima and Log Cabin. That's all I really rock.
Log Cabin all day. I'm glad that you came around on the Cardi B. I appreciate that. I'm glad I had one. Now
you appreciate it. Hold on. He appreciated like he working the album.
like I'm all up in the videos.
You getting points on this album, my dude?
Like I'm all up in the videos.
Right. Are you getting points on this? Are you getting points on the album?
I mean, I said that to say that, I see a star when I see one. And now my question is can we get on the Van Jones train? Van Jones, he did Oprah. He did Ryan Coogler. Yeah, Al Gore on.
I'm out.
I'm with you.
No Van Jones.
We just DJ MD them.
Yeah, I'm out. That's the new thing. Yeah, I'm out.
That's the new DJ MD jump on.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh man, I thought that I was gonna get 2 for 2. No, Van
hold on.
Jones
Speaking
props.
of envy, though, Lamont, I think you might be right. I feel like it's two shows back that you were saying that it was all an act. I feel like it might be a little bit of an act. I think they auditioning for I think he's auditioning for Mona.
And that's another thing. Going back to Cardi,
the whole stunt was a Mona stunt.
And that's what I'm saying. What Cardi B also is doing is she's empowering Mona Scott to be whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, Mona's already a beast. I mean, let's not take away from Mona's, contribution to hip hop now.
Let me finish. They got to a certain plateau with K. Michelle, but this here with this Cardi B, this is some old other stuff. So she just probably got renewed for like another 25 seasons of Love and Hip Hop.
So 25 seasons? Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So just get ready.
I can't take 25.
25 seasons?
It's coming.
I can't take 25. I can't even watch it no more.
When DC's on his 7th jail sentence. Andy gonna have like.
Hey, move lightly on that Mendices, man. You hear me? Move lightly on Mendices. Let's get into Donald Trump and the Trumpettes, ladies and gentlemen. Last week Maynard said he doesn't know why Jay-Z will not take some clippers to that head. I don't know if you guys saw the interview between him and David Letterman, but Jay-Z said that Trump presidency is a good thing. He continued, he says, what he's forcing people to do is have a conversation and people to band together and work together. You can't really address something that's not revealed. He's bringing out the ugly side of America that we wanted to believe was gone, and it's still here, and we got to deal with it. We have to have the tough conversation. We have to talk about the N-word. We have to talk about why white men are so privileged in this country. Maynard, is the Trump presidency good? Is Donald Trump forcing people to work with each other, band with each other? Is Jay-Z right on this issue?
No. I understand his point, and it makes sense. I mean, I guess in some respect, it's making the best of a bad thing. But no, we don't need this. We don't need a Donald Trump presidency to help us improve. The one thing is, the reason what I always thought that no one person can ruin the republic. That no one we lived through Nixon being impeached. We lived through Kennedy being assassinated in office. We lived through a lot of other things, even Lincoln being assassinated in office, and the republic still stood. But the republic stood because certain things continued to exist in our ethos. Like we knew that we understood and we needed and appreciated that the fourth estate, the media, was a thing. We have found ourselves in a far more polarized and separated and divisive nation now because of this presidency. And I don't know if it's going to be able to be repaired in any logical way, shape, or form, because man, people out here are hating each other, and the vitriol is worse than ever before.
Lamont?
What you want me to say?
Oh wait, this is the part, Maynard, where he takes up for Jay-Z. Okay, go. Because Jay-Z and Beyonce can do no wrong. Action.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, and I get it. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I got to kind of go with Maynard again. Jay, he's wrong. I mean, I think at the end of the day, just like when you said his name, I mean, I just get this level of despair, this level of hopelessness. Go flex a little bit more, Maynard. I saw that. There you go. Give it to him, baby. Give it to him. But, I mean.
Available for $23.99 in the... I'm sorry, go ahead.
There you go.
$14.99 for the smalls. $14.99 for the smalls.
Buy one and post a pic, I'll get you another one.
Yeah. I mean, I just think, again, a lot of this is psychological, and what Donald is doing psychologically to not just the nation, but the world is bad, man. It's bad. So, it's really bad. I mean, that's all you can say is it's bad. So I don't see any upside is that, hopefully we don't get another 48 months of this, because where we at now? We at a year and a half yet, Maynard?
Yeah, not quite even a year and a half yet. Not quite.
See, it feels like
10 years.
It feels like, you know what I'm saying? So
it feels like the 25th season of Love and Hip Hop.
With little
damn man, Mona Scott, damn you!
Would you say with little man DZ graduating from college, right?
Right. But moving forward, we just got to, let me just stay on Donald Trump for a second, because Bob Johnson, Lamont, I'm sure that's your man, founder of BET. He was on CNBC, and he said black folks should be dancing a jig, a little jig, not a big jig. He said, black folks should be dancing a little jig for the growing economy under President Trump, citing December job report showing that black unemployment hit the lowest, ever. Lamont, I mean, you always dancing the jig in where you live at. So, but should black folks be dancing a jig right now over the Trump economy?
Maynard, can you help me? Do we have to dance a jig?
A little jig, not a big jig, just a little bit. That's a beans and
cornbread.
Beans and cornbread. It's all right. Beans and cornbread.
Fiddle and
beans and cornbread. It's all right.
At the end of it, be like.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my
darling. Wait.
Oh, mama.
You could do the WB frog on me, man. Is that the WB frog? I always wonder, why did they let that be on TV for so long, bro? Like, what was that? Yeah. What was the frog about? But anyway, let me just say this about Uncle Bob. That's
wrong right there. Uncle Bob is a bad name.
No, that's what we call him. He's Uncle Bob.
Everybody's the uncle. Everybody's the uncle. Uncle Bill, Uncle Bob, Uncle Ben.
Man. Uncle Bob is just, he's in a different world, bro. He doesn't understand, I think, the plight of African Americans in 2018. So it might sound good when you're sitting up in Inglewood Cliffs at CNBC off 9W, but that's not, you know what I mean? That's not the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? That's not the real world. So he's wrong, and it's okay. Maynard?
Yo, man, I mean, I feel like the dude, Bob Johnson, man, I feel like he sold out way back. Even before the Barack Obama thing, he's way back. He sold out, man. This cat has been a sellout from almost the beginning.
Ooh.
Sell out.
Ooh.
So this is the deal. He brought BET to life. God bless him for that. A lot of black folks did get some jobs as a result. Okay, we did get a platform. And in the beginning, I felt like, all right, I respect it because we get some music, we get some of our culture, but it didn't grow. Under Bob Johnson, he had an opportunity 4 or 5 times to take on programs that were part of the culture that he should have taken on or do things that he didn't do. For instance, Rock was on Fox. Y'all remember the show Rock with Charles S. Dutton and my mans and them, Ella Joyce, etc. When Fox was like, yo, we're going to cancel it, the black community loved it. But Fox was like, we're good on that right now. He had a chance to take that program and keep that alive because that was phenomenal TV.
Right.
He's like, original programming costs too much. I ain't giving these Negroes no original programming. I'm going to play these music videos because it's cheap. Mm-hmm. These record companies going to pay me to play them. And that's what I'm going to give these Negroes.
Can I ask you a question?
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Is Alfred Liggins, is he guilty? Is TV One guilty of the same thing?
Certainly, in some respects.
What do you mean?
TV One isn't really giving us an amazing amount of original content. They give us some things, and some things are really good.
Like what? Like Good Times?
They're giving us unsung. They're giving us unsung. You can't front on unsung.
So I'm still dancing a jig.
Yeah, but think about this, though, Lamont. BET had a chance, and BET has been in our it's been in the world since 83, 84, something like that. They just getting the original programming in the past 3 years. TV One been around 10 years maybe?
Offshore for Alfred, boy. You got that black kiwi shoe polish on your face when it comes to Alfred Liggins.
Ooh.
I'm saying. I saw a little bit on your face,
man,
bro.
I worked for Alfred Liggins, man. Back up off of him.
No. Hold on. Let me address this. Hold on. Let me address the truth.
You don't want to do that for Alfred Liggins.
No, let me address the truth about Alfred Liggins. Alfred Liggins fired me.
Okay. Well, no, he didn't fire you.
You fired yourself.
Whatever.
Jab.
Yo.
Uppercut.
Yo, I was at Radio 1 and things got different and they changed. There was a comment that was attributed to me about Alfred Liggins, and people didn't like what was said that I said or allegedly said, and I came out on the wrong end of it.
This is your apology saying that it's okay. So now, okay. So you can get back in the door.
I'm saying I don't have no allegiances to Alfred Liggins. Yeah. I don't rock with him like that. I don't feel like he don't know me. I don't really know him. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I was a number on a sheet of paper. He was just like, yo, he got to go.
Right. But let me say this though, Maynard. I do honestly agree with you 150% about Bob Johnson, but I also feel the same about Alfred in terms of those were 2 platforms that had the opportunity to really make a difference other than, BET Uncut. You know what I'm saying? Which, I did stay up to 3 a.m. to watch BET Uncut because that's where you got the BET Uncut. But I mean, I just...
What is that? That's where we put, what does that mean?
Right.
Listen, Cardinelli, y'all remember
Tip drill.
Yeah.
Tip drill. Yeah.
Tip drill. Yes. All right, before we go to a break, I do want to ask about, keep it on Bob Johnson because he did say that, he does consider himself a Democrat, but he said he brings up a point saying that African Americans should be a little less rigid in their political loyalties. He said we shouldn't, as black voters, reject the notion that we are locked into a party that undoubtedly limits and dilutes our voting power. We should instead use the power of our vote to support and elect whichever party that best serves our interests. Should black folks reconsider?
He's right. He is 100% right. Unfortunately for Republicans, they never have served our interests. I mean, it's one thing to be like, yo, I'm going to help you find a job, right? That's cool. All right, great. We're going to do these things to improve this. But when you turn around at the same time and you support, tools of hate and divisiveness towards particularly African Americans and other types of brown people, mainly Hispanics, Puerto Rican, etc., then all that other work goes to waste. You can't help somebody find a job and then trip them on the way to work. That's a no-go. That's a no-go. In addition to that, for all that he's talking about, Donald Trump Donald Trump hasn't done anything to this economy that wasn't already in motion.
Right.
And everybody was giving Donald Trump all this props when he first came in, talking about the Trump bump to the economy and what happened on Wall Street. What's been happening on Wall Street for the past month and a half? It's been tanking. Almost every week we're down 300 points. On average. So it's down 500 points one day. It's down 700 points another day. It's up 200 points. It's down 300 points. At the end of the week, we finished 500 points lower than we started the week.
Right.
Now, let's talk about the last thing. And I know you want to take a break, and I'm sorry to go ahead and do this, but it's on my heart. He had a jobs number of 107,000 for the month of March.
Mm-hmm.
That's anemic. Anemic, Lamont.
That's
anemic.
Is that with an I? Is that with an I? Gotcha, okay.
That's horrible. That's horrible in comparison, based on the fact that he was like, all we're going to do is have winning. 107,000 jobs is a plus in that it's not negative 107,000, but it's not the 300,000 or 400,000 that he's telling us we're going to get. If you remember during Barack Obama's presidency, when the unemployment rate fell to under 5, Donald Trump Jr. went out here and said it's really more like 35. They're lying. So what are they doing now? Are they lying now?
Well, we all know they're all lying. Okay. On that note, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about Donald Trump. We'll talk about catch and release, immigration, the wall, more on the tariffs, and a lot more. Stay right there. It's Three Black Guys with the Mic. It's all about Wendy's. Yes, it's all about Wendy's in 2018. It's always fresh, never frozen at a participating Wendy's near you. Did you know that Wendy's has a mixtape? If you have not heard it on Spotify, you need to download that thing. I'm talking about Wendy's is changing the game, not only in the music business, but in the food business. Head over to Wendy's and get yourself a Wendy's 4 for $4. Now with 8 options. The other day, I pulled up to Wendy's and got myself a spicy chicken wrap, baby. You can get yourself one of those, or double stack, a crispy chicken sandwich, a regular girl go wrap, junior bacon cheeseburger, crispy chicken BLT junior cheeseburger, or junior cheeseburger deluxe. With all these options, plus nuggets, fries, and a drink. Can't beat that. It's always fresh, never frozen, at a participating Wendy's near you. Offer not valid in Alaska and Hawaii. Welcome back to Three Black Guys with the Mic. Let's get into Donald Trump and catch and release. Maynard, Donald Trump is taking steps to end catch and release. We already know it's not a law, even though he was wrong on that. What are your thoughts on catch and release and his whole thing about immigration? What are your thoughts?
So immigrants are getting fish and throwing them back?
That's what I thought catch and release. I thought it was about the fish, bro.
Immigrants are grabbing fish and throwing them back?
Right. That's what I thought it was.
So, I mean, this is the thing. And this is the thing. Immigration policy belongs to the federal government. For instance, if you are in the state of Minnesota, just taking a state that's not near the border or not near, let's get a little bit better. If you're in the state of Kentucky, it doesn't border any federal border lines anywhere, right? The police departments, the state police departments, the local police departments have no opportunity to affect the borders or the immigration. You can't be a cop or a police force in Kentucky and be like, oh, this guy's an immigrant. Let's take him to Mexico where he came from or send him to Poland or whatever. So what happens is you can't jail a person and try them for a federal crime as a state law enforcement agency, right? You can't, crossing the border is a federal offense. So it's up to ICE and the federal government to try that. If ICE and the federal government can't try that in time, then they have to release this person. So as a result, the states, the cities, they just don't have any leverage in this space. They can't afford to. You couldn't afford to, as a state, just be like, oh, we're going to deport people. Well, certain states have more people, more illegal immigrants in their states than others. that means it's an unfair burden on that state to do the federal government's job to take these people back to Mexico or Honduras. In addition to that, the state would have to then prove what country they came from. What if this person came from El Salvador? You can't just drop them off in Mexico and be like, we're done. So, you know, he's not understanding. Everyone thinks that the police force is like it's a unified force, that all police officers are on the same exact team and they work for the federal government and they could just take people out of the country and be done with it. It doesn't work that way.
But I do have to ask, you know, because let's play the conservative or the White House side of it, because what the White House basically is saying is that, you know, and we all know how catch and release works. Basically, people come, you know, they're released, they're apprehended, and then they're released into the United States. The problem in which what Donald Trump is saying is that you don't have people going to court, and so they end up being in the United States, and now they are, in his analogy, in his world, in his mind, they become drug dealers, they become rapists, and so forth and so on. I mean, i.e., from the, you know, White House, they basically said that so far in 2018, that 13,000, you know, more than 13,000 people have been in the United States. So I guess I can see from what it is that he is saying, yo, you got these people who are coming in, and now we can't do anything with them because they're not showing up for court when they're released into the United States.
You know, I'll give Lamont an opportunity. All I would say is this: I wonder if Americans really think that if all illegal immigrants left this country, that rape would go to zero.
No.
Okay, and we have to then go back and look at the true statistics, which is something that it's one thing to talk about emotions. Oh, black people are dangerous. Right. Mexicans are rapists. And it's a very emotional field. You know, why so many people, for instance, are afraid of black men, even suburban black men.
Flash that T-shirt. Flash that T-shirt. Flash that T-shirt.
Bam! I'm stunting on motherfuckers. I'm stunting this weekend. But the whole idea is that most people are in danger of being violated by people who look like them. You know, the primary killer of white women is typically white men that they know, usually their husbands. Black people are usually harmed or hurt at the hands of black people, and so on and so forth. So if all the Mexican illegal immigrants or all the El Salvadorian and MS-13, all these people all of a sudden disappeared from America tomorrow, you know, there would still be crimes of passion and crimes of power and crimes of greed and crimes of opportunity. So rape would still be a crime. Drug sales would still continue. Murder would still occur. All these things would occur. The man in Vegas killed more people in one day back last year than all the murders I'm aware of by illegal immigrants. Okay, so you know, what are we gonna do? We're gonna give it all white men, Donald Trump. In addition to that, let me say this one last thing. If we got this opioid crisis that's killing more people annually than car accidents, and Donald Trump wants to give drug dealers the death penalty, do we then say if you make OxyContin as a drug manufacturer, we should be giving you the death penalty? It's the biggest killer of people in America right now.
I just want to know, how do we end up with an opioid memorial? That's all I want to know. Did you see where you're trying to create an opioid memorial? Is there a crack memorial for all the crack babies? But that's a whole other story. Anyway, go ahead, Lamont.
What do you want me to say, man? We know that, you know, I do kind of agree with this point. I don't know how this works, but when people are detained and they are released, there has to be some kind of way that they do come back to court, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, but all of the other foolishness that Donald spews, you know, I just always ask this question. We focus a lot on the southern border, but what about the Canadian border? Is there drugs and rapists and murderers that come from Canada?
Never, ever. No.
I just always wondered that. Like we never talk about Canada,
Canada. They're good people in Canada.
Right. So
all of them are perfect.
Right. So I'm always like, okay, if we're gonna do this wall thing on the southern border, what the hell about the northern border? You know what I'm saying?
Lamont, they're better white people than the regular white people. Half of them speak French.
So are you saying Are you saying that the Canadian border produces better ice than the southern border?
It's always cold in Canada.
It's always cold in Canada. Always cold in
I used to
Canada.
drink Molson Ice, which came from Canada.
Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you drinking something now, Maynard?
I'm drinking a Canada Dry ginger ale.
Exactly. Come on, bro. So
I'm part of a conspiracy and didn't even know it.
right.
Jesus.
So what I'm saying is that
I'm oppressing people.
Right.
I'm an oppressor.
Right.
I'm a colonizer now.
Right. I think it still goes back to it's not about what the surface issue is. I think it's about, our Mexican brothers and sisters being, targeted, period, point blank.
So
That's all it is.
sending, the National Guard to the border is not going to help against rapists, drug dealers, gangbangers, and all that other stuff.
No, because they're coming from Canada. They're not coming from Mexico.
Well, let's
gangbangers and coming from Canada.
Canadians.
You don't know. If you don't know about the Canucks, if you don't know about the Canucks and the Maple Leafs, my man, you are woefully uninformed.
Well,
They ain't playing out here.
That's what I'm trying to say. So I feel like matter of fact, I saw this on it was something on Netflix. It was about how organized crime. It wasn't about drugs or whatever. It was about maple syrup. That there was a mafia that controlled all the maple syrup. And if you didn't get down with the get down, you was getting murdered. Google that when you get a second. I forgot what it was. I'll look it up. But those Canadians, they ain't nothing to play with, bro. And they had a task force. If you had too much maple syrup, you was going to jail because that means you was part of the mafia. So again, what I'm saying is we worry about what's coming from the South, and the real true may be coming from the North. I don't know.
Well, let me say this on behalf of those of us who are in maple syrup, as I sit here in the lovely lodge
of your new studio.
I have my maple trees are outside. Let me say this: there is no existence of the maple syrup mafia.
But let me dive deeper though, because Maynard, you know more than us in this. Bush did this. Obama did this in regards to putting National Guard at the border. Did it help then, and will this help against immigrants coming to the country?
I mean, listen. If you put a force on the border that is there to deter people from coming, in some respect, all you had to do to keep people from coming is to have somebody be visible. So the answer is yes, it will help deter groups of people from coming. I don't know how many. I'm certain it will slow down the rate. But let's be honest. Many of these people are coming from Honduras, or I think even further south than that.
Hey, be on the lookout. The caravan is coming.
Right, and they really are going through all types of hell and high water to get here. So I think the one thing you have to recognize is many of these people are looking for an opportunity for a better life. I'm not necessarily saying that they're supposed to come to America to have that better life, but what they have now sucks. So what they're looking for is better. And when you're in pursuit of better for your family, when you're in pursuit of better for your children, better for yourself, if you're trying to save your own life, a couple of thousand cats at the border with, who won't be carrying guns, who won't be armed, that's really not a deterrent. We have this phenomenal magnet in America called capitalism and opportunity that brings people from all over the world. The only problem is if you're from the wrong parts of the world, America don't want you.
All right, let me stay on that. So, break down these tariffs. We talked about a little bit before the break. We talked about, the stock market and so forth and so on. Donald Trump put $100 billion on the tariffs. China continues to hook, retaliate in that situation. We all know the trade wars. Nobody wins in that situation. Maynard, break down, for the listeners, the tariffs, what this means, the soybeans, the pork. I mean, you can't get no more of that bacon, at the price you've been getting it at, Maynard. So break down the tariffs and what this means for the U.S. economy.
Well, I think actually, let's talk about me as the consumer. Actually, I may very well benefit in some respects. Like you said, they're bacon. Because what's going to happen is China buys pork products from America. Let's start with this. Pigs grow everywhere.
Right.
You know, you ain't no shortage. Somebody's going to be like, if America won't send China pigs, we sure as hell will. So pigs grow everywhere. That's not an issue for China. They'll get pork products.
Not China.
China. But what that means for me is if China's not taking those pork products, then the pork products here in America will have to get cheaper because those farmers are saying, I got to sell them. I got more demand than supply. And so the supply-demand curve suggests that he has to discount those products. That's good for me in the short run, but it's bad for the U.S. economy because now the farmer doesn't make as much money. And this is the thing, more than the trade war as what does it do to our economy, it's the chess game that we should be talking about. So China has 1 billion people. It's the largest market of people in the world. Them and India both have 1 billion people or so in each country. They have essentially decided to enslave tons of their own population for the benefit of Apple and Dell and, you know, various other multinational or American companies to make products. And Apple is sitting there saying, you know, please don't call us out again on that Foxconn piece because, you know, people are, you know, working 60 hours a day or whatever. Yeah, not 60 hours a day, but, you know, they're working 30 hours straight, and then they get a half a day off and they got to come back and work 30 more hours and all kinds of craziness. The question is this. If you think that China is prepared to enslave many of their own people and have many of their own people live in poverty, what the hell you think keeping them from getting some pork from America is or slapping them with an embargo is going, you ain't gonna. It's like a dude that has elected to, despite the fact that he makes good money, has elected to not pay his child support. Are we going to suspend his driver's license? So the hell what? He don't care about his kids. He don't care about your damn law about some damn driving. So China don't care about you, Donald Trump. You out here playing checkers with chess players, and the penalty for losing is death. Dude, you need to slow down. China doesn't care about you. China don't care about none of us.
Lamont, would you like to add to that? Especially about the child support part? You look like you're a little perplexed about the child support part.
Yo.
No.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. We'll end on this and we'll get to the cactus. Michigan is ending, you know, it really, we coming up on the 4th year anniversary of Flint not having clean water. Michigan is ending its bottled water. All right. Now, in the paper on Friday, the state has said it's costing the state $650,000 a month on bottled water for Flint. So they're ending it in the next couple of weeks. When the supply is over, the supply is over. A lot of people are arguing because now, of course, you know, if you don't know, in Detroit, Nestle, who, you know, bottle water, they take water from Detroit River and they bottle it up for the low, for a nominal fee is what they say. So they're including that from 250 gallons to 400 gallons. Now, I would think that the state would say, hey, look, I need y'all to run this bottled water for Flint. That's what I need y'all to do. Because the people in the city of Flint still don't feel comfortable with where the water levels are. Now, they have tested it, and they said that it is 90% lower than what it's supposed to be. It's at 4 something, and it's like, I guess the high levels are at 15. But I guess I got to, you know, go to you, Lamont, in regards to how do you feel about the state saying it's over, no more bottled water for the city of Flint?
I'm going to take a quote from a black guy that I know. Black lives don't matter.
That wasn't you, Maynard?
That's not me. I thought it was me. No, it's not.
The black lives don't matter because, and I've always said this about Flint, The next door neighbor to the north and to the south of Flint are communities that are a little bit more affluent and that don't have a lot of black lives. And they have never had an issue with water. And they just look at that place as, I just feel like they're either trying to starve them or kill them out of there. I mean, maybe there's vibranium in Flint and they're trying to get everybody out of there. I don't know. But what I do know is that they don't care about the people in Flint. And it's evident. It's almost as simple as that. I mean, we can sit here and pontificate and try to figure out and understand.
The word of the day again, pontificate.
Yeah, pontificate. But they don't care about the people in Flint, period. I mean, it shows in the actions, and just so many different levels. Because from what I understand, the water's still bad. That the mercury levels are still at an unsafe level. Because remember, they told us before that the water was okay, right? Maynard? Right. Go ahead and drink the water. It's cool. Now you had babies.
Governor, remember Rick Snyder was like, he was like,
right. So you lie to me once, you probably gonna lie to me again. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just bad all the way around. Like you said, you can take the water. Is it from the Detroit River that Nestle's getting it from?
Detroit River, yeah.
Yeah. And whatever the process is to process the water and ship it up to Flint, this ain't rocket science, bro. Because Nestle's doing it. You know what I'm saying? And they're doing it for a profit. So to get those people water up there in Flint, it can easily be done, but they don't care about black people, bro. Yeah. Period.
Manny, you want to respond?
I'm not responding. I'm just commenting that Lamont is correct, A. B, the state of Michigan needs to step up and say, you know what, Flint, if you won't do this, the federal government, this is what we do.
You already know that's not going to happen.
Let's back up. Let's back up. And where is the problem lie? If it doesn't lie in the city any longer, and it doesn't lie in the state, I'm talking about the authority to get things done, then it has to fall to the federal government. And that agency that handles it belongs right now to the OG, Scott Pruitt. Who is
OG, triple OG, triple?
Triple OG, triple. He's banging. He's a banger out here. My man is out here. This is how reckless my man is. He's out here getting $50 a month, $50 a night stays in a fly condo in DC, and they had to put him out because he wouldn't even pay his bill.
Yo, man, I was like, what kind of employee discount he get, yo, for 50?
You can't stay in DC.
Hell
in DC no. In the 200s.
You can't park
hold on.
in DC for $50.
Right.
The address of the condo, I don't know what block it's on, exactly where it is, but the address is 244. Right, that's the street number or the door number, which means it's probably not far from the Capitol. You follow, the Capitol is at 0, and you at 244. My dude, you in walking distance.
You 2 blocks away, basically.
Right.
He ain't paying the 50.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and you paying $50 a night? He's a G. And if he don't care about look, he's living in these people's place, paying $50 a night, and he ain't even paying them. If he don't care about paying them, he ain't thinking about no daggone Negroes in Flint. Yep. Somebody told me, if you meet a woman that ain't wash her elbows, what you think of she doing with her ass?
Ain't there?
Really?
Where'd you get that one?
The idea.
Who told you that? Who told you
the idea is that the idea
what
is.
What did that one come from?
Right.
I can't tell you about that. I can't tell you. But the idea is, if somebody is not taking care of this, then the harder things to take care of, they definitely are ignoring that. Yeah. They definitely are not. He's not doing it. He's flying first class all around the world. He got the sirens. He got the he wanted to go to dinner with the sirens on because he gonna be late for his dinner time. Right? Riding through DC. My dude, you don't even live in DC like that. I mean, you're not even a citizen. You're not even a resident. You a visitor. You out here telling other people you gotta put your life on hold. He got the phone booth, $40,000 phone booth installed in his joint. Dude, I got an iPhone. You need what you need a phone booth for? You got quarters in there or something?
You didn't say that to Ben Carson when he wanted to install a $31,000 dining table. I got a dining table. They don't cost it ain't no $31,000, boy.
This is the thing. This is the scandal. It didn't even cost $31,000. It came from IKEA. Ben Carson just paid $31,000 for it. He was the table was $1,000. The instructions were $30,000. He was like, I don't know how to speak
The
IKEA, so give me
kickback was $30,000. The kickback was $30,000.
Carson, dumb as all. He's dumb as
All right, speaking of that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the cactus of the week. This is where somebody says some stupid ish and they got to choke on their words. Maynard.
Chuck D, who is a legend in hip hop, and I think regrettably never mentioned in the greatest of all time lyricists. Because as a rhymer, I don't know if nobody can ever tell me that there's a doper opening line than I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened and read it, said they were suckers. Like, that's a movement all to itself. He called out Jay and Puff for basically saying, for them having a friendly little beef on who's going to be the most, the highest paid entertainer for the year, who's going to be at the top of the Forbes list. And, he didn't do it as a measure of hating. He, because I think we all know that Chuck, he ain't rich like that. He ain't in the hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever the case may be. But, when it really comes right down to it, he shined a light to say, look, I need y'all as leaders in this industry to not be out here talking so much about how much you got and how much you worth, but to talk a little bit more about, what you can do to help make the culture better. And that's what he did. And for that, no cactus, but a salute.
You know what your new name is going to be, Maynard? Your code name when we check into the hotels is Michael Eric Dyson.
What? My dude, I don't use extra syllables.
It took you 8.5 minutes for you to get that out about Chuck.
I thought you was going to say that because of the hookers and blow. That you was going to
Wait a minute. Michael Eric Dyson had hookers and blow? Newsflash?
No.
Somebody get media takeout on the line.
No. I love some Dyson.
Michael Eric Dyson has been checking in the hotels as Maynard, so he can have
Got it. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We out. Thank you so very much for listening to another episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic. We drop every single Tuesday right here at threeblackguyswiththemic.com. Make sure you get with us on Facebook and join the conversation at facebook.com/threeblackguyswiththemic. Get yourself a T-shirt so Maynard can give you another T-shirt, please. All right, the Suburban Black T-shirts, Three Black Guys with the Mic T-shirts. We got a lot of T-shirts on our website at Three Black Guys with the Mic. Yes. Get yourself a T-shirt. Get yourself a mug. Drink some coffee with us. I was going to show my coffee, but it's not a Three Black Guys with the Mic coffee mug. So get yourself a Three Black Guys with the Mic coffee mug. We holla. Share it online. Listen, go to iTunes and leave a review. Go to iTunes. Subscribe to this podcast. Go to iTunes, Google Play, wherever you listen to. Subscribe and rate it. That's how we grow, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do it again.
Somebody must be getting some Apple money.
I'm not getting no Apple money. I'm trying to get this podcast up, and we need you. We need you. Can't do it without you. We'll do it again next Tuesday right here on Three Black Guys with the Mic.